Here today in the rather specialized Asashio, the Tier 8 Japanese premium destroyer. On the Atlantic, we're bottom tier in a carrier game versus three radars, and a Kagero Shimi Shimi. So the Asashio is a bit of a Kagero variant, like her Kagero cousin. She lacks pretty much any AA whatsoever, just 1.9 kilometers of range, and she has the same excellent 5.4 kilometer surface detection range, which is actually the highest in the game of any ship. She has a pretty middling health pool, and the standard IGN 5-inch guns, 2 in the back, 1 in the front. I have the black variant here, and she has smoke, speed boost, and reload booster. So unlike the Kagero, she is able to take reload booster and smoke at the same time, which is one of her unique perks. Her guns are the same, the hull is the same, the speed is the same. So what makes the Asashio special? Well, the Asashio is a specialized anti-capital ship destroyer. And what that means is that she has these super deep water torps. So if you can see here, they have a 100-second reload time with my captain build, and they hit for 20,000 damage. They go at 67 knots, which is extremely quick, and they have 20 kilometers of range. So to balance out the 20 kilometers of range and the relative stealthiness of the torps are extremely stealthy. These are what you might call super deep water torps. So normally deep water torpedoes that you find in the Pan-Asian destroyer line, or the Pan-Asian cruisers that you may be more familiar with, are only able to hit cruisers, battleships, and carriers. The Asashio's torps are even more specialized than that, in that they can only hit battleships and carriers, that is, capital ships. And so if you look here, in this match, we only have 6 targets to choose from. So that's with our torps. So with the Kagero, you can play her in multiple different ways, but my preferred method is to take advantage of her excellent 5.4 kilometer stealth and use her as a aggressive cap contester after lobbing out my torps at rather distant targets here. You can see all these battleships at the backline are already in range for me. Oh, spotted by radar. Baltimore's radaring. I'll launch some speculative torps at that Montana. Those are unlikely to hit at that kind of distance, but these 15 kilometer torps that I want to launch on this Izumo once I cross stand a better chance. Oh, taking some rocket fire. I'm gonna be forced to smoke up here. I don't want to take any further damage. Might take another salvo here because I was sitting almost still. Nice, he missed. Good. So planes, as you can see, are a bit of a problem. You do rely heavily on your stealth to kind of solve your problems for you. Oh, there's a Shimikaze. The guns are the standard Japanese 5-inch guns, and that means they're actually quite powerful in terms of alpha damage. You just need to make sure you use them properly. And by properly, that is at moments of opportunity. They hit quite hard, with a 2100 HE alpha. They just have a long reload. That's not too much trouble. Okay, let's shoot that Yamato. You saw there we did a nice 4K in just 2 salvos, which is honestly not bad at all. The guns do turn slowly, but if you can get them pointed in the right direction before you engage in your fight, then you'll be just fine. So here, let's see. An interesting spot. This is a standard battle, which is not ideal for the Asashio for sure. You really want caps to contest. I'm using the enemy's smoke screens against them. This Shimikaze that died left behind a smoke screen, which means I can open water fire. Her gun range is also quite excellent at 10.9 stock, even without anything like AFT. So you do get to lob fire at targets with quite some success. Where is that Yamato? Usually you don't really want to gray line your torpedoes, but these are all speculative shots against targets that are very much out of my normal range, so I don't really have a problem gray lining here. Still using that Shimikaze smoke in front of me. The Baltimore is also in my field of fire. Okay, someone's radaring. Not sure it's the Baltimore. Or it should be the Baltimore. Got a torp hit on the Yamato. So you can see the Yamato's excellent torpedo reduction. It must have hit him right on the belt because he only took about 10,000 from it. I'm not the one getting shot at, so I'm not afraid of using my guns. The smoke in front of me has faded, but I'm out of range for the booster, so basically only the Baltimore can detect me. 10-9. So once he leaves 10-9, I should be fine. Yami's reversing. Send some more torps his way and slowly creep forward. It's not the greatest game to be demonstrating the Asashio, because I don't really have caps to contest aggressively, but you can see we're controlling the space and basically forcing the battleships to think twice. I'm probably going to let this torpedo tick up to cooldown, and then I'm going to use my reload booster to get a nice 12 torpedo wave. The Monty's moving a pretty slow speed right now. So what I'm going to do is launch one on the line, and then I'm going to assume he's going to speed up after using my reload booster, 5 seconds. I'm going to aim quite ahead of him. You know what, I'll assume one he slows down and one he speeds up a lot. Well, not a lot actually, speeds up a little bit. Booster's dead now, so we can creep even closer as the radar ships fade and come closer and closer to stalking these two battleships in the middle here. The carrier, I don't know what the enemy carrier is doing, but he's not doing a great job of spotting us out. So the Kagero has come up onto our screen, and that's definitely someone I would like to gun trade with. My Keyring is smoking in front of midway torpedo bombers, not something I would advise. So there's not too much that can actually punish me here. Oh, he's smoked up though. Okay, the Monty ended up going full reverse. Alright then. Well, there's no cruisers left here, so I'm just gonna actually just open up and fire. There's nothing really stopping us. The enemy Audacious has launched the torpedo bombers, which are fairly easy to dodge. And so there's only 2 battleships. So if they really want to spend time shooting at me, like this Yamato is, that's completely fine by me. I can smoke up if I ever feel the need. He's secondary spec. Or at least he has AFT. Interesting. Not gonna smoke here for now. Okay, I'm taking quite a bit of pressure. I'm gonna come closer before I smoke. Kronstadt's in range. I think that was his radar earlier. Oh, it's a midway. This whole time I thought it was an Audacious. Alright. That's worth a smoke. Not gonna fire while the midway's here. I'm not gonna use my repair party either. Oh dear, what are those? I am actually gonna have to move. Move. Okay, so my engine was broken there, so you can see my acceleration being quite poor, so force to pop damage control. Okay, they faded just short. It's kind of annoying. Yamato's reversing now. I'm gonna aim behind him. Looking for fire. I might clip him on the bow with that last torpedo, but I'm not really anticipating them to do very much here. But he's in range anyway. So the 5-inch guns don't have enough penetration to beat 32mm of plating. But the Yamato has plenty of exposed superstructure, so just aim for the superstructure up here, and you'll be fine. Uh-oh. Okay, using my speed boost here. Nudge forward, or nudge backward rather, and then nudge forward. Got my fire. I would switch to the Montana, but he's not in range, so continue to use my IGN guns. Oh, he might just sweep by. It's too bad. He did manage to dodge my torpedo salvos. I mean, he knows we're here, so it's not exactly the hardest thing in the world to dodge. Oh, he damage controlled my fire. So we're not having the most successful game, I would say. Oh, there's a Kagero here. That is a bit bad. Alright, just dodging out here on targets. Looks like the Montana turned away, so we're unlikely to hit him, but that's fine. Just a fairly slow-paced game. Enemy battleships are being very unaggressive. I'm on my last smoke. Gonna hit that Yamato? No, I'm not. Midway's looking for me. So I kind of have two choices here. I can stray away from my team and hope that he goes for what he's known. Oh, he is looking for me. It's kind of annoying. I'm unlikely to survive this any one bomb hit. I'm gonna continue in my hard turn though, just to make it a little more difficult. Oh, and I survived. So since I survived, time to smoke. Gonna make my smoke screen as large as possible, so when he has to guess, it's as difficult as possible. Ooh, someone took a pot shot at me. It's very rude, sir. He did force out my smoke, which is aggravating. But there's really nothing I can do about that. Montana's going through that gap. The Yamato's being highly unpredictable, so it's kind of hard to say where he's going to go. I'm just going to aim along the gray lines, assuming he keeps reversing, and one assuming she kind of stops. This has become a bit of a game of attrition. I should probably leave this middle zone and look for another angle, because the midway does know I'm here. Oh, and I'm radared too. I'm likely to die in this radar at this kind of health. And the Kronstadt's there, huh? He kind of spooked me. If I'd been caught out with the Izimo that close to me, I would have been hard spotted. Now I'm just gonna pull away. The Kronstadt's gonna spot all those torpedoes as he crosses by, but that's fine. One of them might still hit the Yamato, who knows. Izimo's a fairly easy target now, but I don't have my tubes loaded. Plus my team's probably gonna dispatch him. Oh, maybe one on the tip? Maybe he's moving forward? Yes. Did get one torpedo hit there. Been a very tame game for us. Here I'm just gonna gray line. He's so close, there's almost no reaction time. If he turns away... So I'm spotted. His guns turned? No, they're not. So his guns aren't even turned, so I'm gonna fire. He's gonna die either way if anything hits him. Might as well get a fire in case nothing does. And there we go. Got our kill. Now I can stalk this Montana. Yamato, who we clipped, did get set on fire. Gonna be quite scary. He's still over here. RPF is giving us information. Ooh, Midway's looking for me. Fair enough. I think, okay. Did he just fire? I'm gonna hold up for as long as I can. Oh, I shouldn't have slowed down there. Oh, I'm lucky. So the Kagero is a pretty skinny ship. And so because of that, you can dodge bombs for a little bit, as long as you anticipate where you're going. Need to go. Sorry. Of course, eventually the Midway is gonna get you. He dodged my first set of torpedoes, but I did reload boost and anticipate he would slow down and turn. So it should clip him here. The Montana doesn't have the best damage reduction in terms of torpedoes, so any 2 torps will kill him, I think? There we go. And you saw that our damage easily climbed to the end of the game, because when you hit battleships, well, damage tends to be high. And this game should wrap up shortly. Not the most exciting demonstration of the Kagero, kind of just me sitting around shooting torpedoes at battleships in the middle of the map because it's standard battle, not so much intense cap contesting. But you did see there some of the survival techniques that you can use as a Japanese destroyer against the Midway, who did actually go after us quite a bit. So there, it's kind of just about mitigating damage in what ways you can and dealing what damage you can over the course of the match. I did separate it out from the pack. Maybe if I stayed closer to my allies, I could have done something. But the problem with staying close to your allies as a destroyer for the whole of the match is that it's kind of unrealistic. You do really need to contest caps, and even in standard battle, you need to contest space. And so if we're all clustered together and all the torpedoes are coming from one spot, it's not exactly great for a destroyer either. So eventually you do need to leave. And so once you leave, as a tier 8 destroyer in a tier 10 match against a tier 10 carrier, he is going to kill me if he really wants to. So I just need to be conservative with my smokes and try to save them as much as possible to mitigate damage. And even after I'm out of smokes and he does spot me with rocket planes or dive bombers, like I said, like I did there, you need to try and react to the dive bombers. At least try and mitigate damage, make it hard. Don't just sit there and accept that you're going to die, because if you do take action, you're not necessarily going to die right then and there. So, a pretty tame game, slightly less than 100,000 damage, 100 shell hits, so don't forget to use your guns. Only 6 torpedo hits, 2 kills, 4 fires, 4 floods, 3 incaps, 2 plane kills, surprisingly. You look at the score here, 1800. Not too bad considering it was a very whatever game. 37,000 on the Montana, another 47,000 on the Yamato. The Yamato did a decent job in dodging most of our torpedo strikes. And then we have a bit of damage everywhere else. 1,000 on the Baltimore, 1,000 on enemy Kagero, 3,000 on the Shimikaze. So there you have it, the Asashio. Didn't get to use the nuclear-tipped torpedoes very much against battleships, but as you saw, even the few I did hit hurt like a mother. Very fun ship, but you do have to play her aggressively. Hope you enjoyed. Cheers.